Okay, everybody, today's date is, I know I look crazy as hell, just trust me. Today's date is, May 15th, 2026, and today is the first day that I've been able to make a video through this phone, okay, in, about 2 months. And it might be a result of some of the, things that well, let's just put it to you this way. I know I'm enduring extreme phone hacking in all my apps, and they're doing it through the manipulations of settings. We all know as human beings that if we're not technically inclined when it comes to certain devices, that if we're not educated concerning like how a device operates, including through program setting parameters, the perpetrators, the demonic filth that is targeting me, know that I am completely uneducated concerning how phone's settings are programmed, enabling these whores to go in and manipulate the phone so that the phone's apps malfunction. There's also a TED Talk YouTube video that is widely exposed on the internet by my fellow targeted individuals. Targeted individuals is a term that describes gang stalking torture victims. Gang stalking is a program, an organized crime program perpetrated through the organized elements within our government. At the military, federal, state, county, and local level, law enforcement is controlled by it, absolutely, and there's an extreme probability that many law enforcement officers, okay, are directly connected to this organized crime syndicate that is nationwide, which is why we have tens and tens of thousands of gang stalking torture victims exposing what we endure on all online platforms every single day. Now look, I'm not in the best lighting environment. The environment I'm in right now does not have the best lighting. Okay, so it might compromise your ability to see the effects. And excuse me for the way I look concerning this stuff being on me. Bear with me a second. I want you to know these 10 units, every single time that I have worn these 10 unit electrodes, with the 10 units being in operation through them, they have been set at even below the minimum safety settings. But you should also know there are extremely credible individuals who are probably just as educated as I am, if even not more, have openly stated that even their 10 units can be remotely hacked by and through, but possibly not limited to, some of the available features and functions of how the criminal medical technology that is known as remote neural monitoring is widely reported to be able to hack into any electronic device from a remote distance. Think about it. Listen to me for a second, okay? Remote neural monitoring. Monitoring you neurologically, remotely. So if they can remotely neurologically, remote neural monitoring, if they can monitor you neurologically remotely from a distance, remote neural monitoring. Neural stands for your neurological features and functions of the brain. And since your brain obviously interfaces with your central nervous system, which then in turn massively, your central nervous system is nothing but a highway to interface with your organs, your limb movements, your motor neurons, and much more. It's abundantly, oh my gosh, you would not believe what I know. So consider this. When you go to Google and you type in at Google, okay, the following lawsuit, and because I gotta hurry up and say this so I can move forward. Excuse me, please. Go to Google and type in at Google John Saint, ST for Saint, John Saint Acqua, excuse me, versus the NSA. It's a lawsuit. Hold on. Excuse me, please. John Saint Acqua, I think his last name is spelled Alewi, versus the NSA remote neural monitoring. I'm forwarding you to that description because it is a lawsuit that did a very good job in breaking down some of the at least mainly reported features and functions of this technology and how, oh absolutely, and their capabilities. And it explains it in layman's terms, and it's pasted in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of blogs of my fellow targeted individuals. So with the lighting in here being not the best, it's probably not going to be able to capture, okay, the full visual clarity, okay, of my current physical state concerning the areas I'm about ready to point out to you. So I want you to follow the tip of these scissors, okay? This right here is my left eye, okay? Now, I already know for a fact, an absolute fact, through experience, and make no mistake about it, when you see my evidences, which are, some of them are already exposed in this account, and as soon as I can get a bunch of my backlogged videos uploaded, you're going to continue to see the extremely high-end evidence that I have, which is totally and completely, literally undeniable. The satanic filth that hosts this crime, and that's all these people are, they're nothing but mass murdering, gang raping, vile whores. They better pray I never find out their name. This is no exaggeration. One of the biggest subcrimes connected to this crime, it's literally part of the fabric of this crime. It's a huge part of this crime, which this crime is very big, it's very intricate, there's a lot of moving parts in it, which is why you need to stay connected to the accounts of very educated victims, because those are the persons who are going to be able to inform you about what we have come to realize through educated knowledge and experience. I want you to look at this area right here. So do you see what appears to be a vein right here? Now, I want you to just pay attention to my statements very carefully and sync them to my to what I'm going to show you. So you want to follow the tip of these scissors. Okay, so it's abundantly clear this is either a vein or artery. I think it's a vein. And it comes from up here. Now, you following it, you can see that it leads directly to, okay, the right edge of the left eyebrow, which is right here. This is what this vein is leading directly into. But what you also want to make sure that you make a mental notation about is follow the tip of the scissors. Is this area right here? So from here to here to here, this circle right here. Now the reason why I bring up one of the widely reported subcrimes connected to this crime, it's actually a huge crime. Bear with me, because I've been targeted through gastric shit all morning. I've already had diarrhea twice. I woke up with an extreme brutal radiation headache. So just continue to listen to me, because these other all my statements are going to fold into the foundational information of this video. So just trust me, okay? Right now you're hearing kind of tidbits and chunks of it, but you'll see how it all folds together as I continue to talk. So this right here is my hairline up here. And I made verbal notations in my tape recorder yesterday, mid-evening, which was, let's make sure I know today's date correctly. Alright, so today's May 15th. So yesterday, May 14th, I made statements in my tape recorder that I was absolutely enduring electrical current deposits in this area up here. Mainly right around here. Now, if you look at where I'm pointing to you with the edge of these scissors, if you were to have, just hear me out, because this is, trust me when I say, baby cakes, when you see other exposures in this count, your jaw is going to drop, and you're going to say to yourself, I can now see why Leslie literally made the statements that I'm making in this video. What do you hear? What's going on? It's just demonic beyond mathematical measure. So this area up in here, this right here is the center going back of the center of the top of the head, and this area going this way is the left. Okay, so this spot up here, I was experiencing brutal attacks yesterday, and I absolutely felt that. I made statements about it in my tape recorder, and what it appeared is that energy was going in from this area directly into this vein area, depositing into the furthest right of my left eyebrow. From there, it was going into here, going into then here, okay? All right, and even some of it was even felt throughout the entire eyebrow, and I think that's because I was enduring continuous dumps. So I made these detailed statements. I was also being heavily attacked to the left back base cranium, and the area that I was, on all days when I've been targeted to the left back base cranium, there's literally, follow my tip of my scissors, so you go from here to here, and imagine a horizontal line. that's about 3.5 inches long. Okay, there's a literally a at least a 3.25 horizontal surgery scar, less than 1/64 of an inch directly below my left occipital lobe, which is directly connected to visual processing. Now, just hear me out. When you see the visual prosthetics that are non-consensually in my eyes, oh my gosh, there is so much going on, folks. So I made these detailed statements. So right where I endured the extreme pains, which absolutely have resulted in thousands of radiation headaches, it's right at that very spot where the surgery scar's at, on the left back cranium, literally right at that spot. I literally feel the electrical current going in that area from at least 2 spots. I know these wild whores are using more than one routing scheme. Okay, now make no mistake about it. The ears, both ears, are in play concerning the different types of targeting that I endure. Okay, so you stay with this account long enough. Again, you'll understand more things more in depthly. The brain will link the data together that you hear from exposures, and if you follow my instructions concerning what you should research on the internet related to my exposures, the brain will organize the data. I'm experiencing extreme brutalities from my ears, the top of the head, and different locations on the scalp. You can go to Google and type in, listen to this description. Bear with me 1 second. I want you to listen to this traffic too. Alright, now just trust me. There's a reason for all my statements. I can't go into long, in-depth statements about my statements because then that overtakes the allotted time. Okay, for the subject matter, that's allotted for the subject matter of this particular video. Now, so there is an extreme probability that so go to Google and type into Google scalp lead cochlear implant. Okay, and that includes implants that can be put like right next to the ear, where your jaw, okay, your jaw is your upper gum line, your lower gum line, and then if you were to go all the way back where those 2 jaw bones originate from, right next to the ear, there is extreme shit going on there too. Now let me go back to the head. Okay, yesterday I made detailed verbal descriptions, and then let me do this right here real fast so you can notate something. Do you see this right here? This area right here, how it's a lot more lighter, okay, alright, than it should be concerning the musculatory tissue. Okay, so that's just being highlighted. Okay, you should also notate the swelliness and the stuffiness, okay, that you see right here. Now you see that a vein or an artery leads right into that area. One of the biggest subset crimes that expose this crime by educated victims is that these wild whores are literally putting what is known as cuff electrodes and other things. They can even put electrode arrays and arteries and veins and nerves. Oh, absolutely. And cuff electrodes and nerves. And the cuff electrode will receive the energy from the electrode that's on the top of the head. These people are nothing but satanic, vicious, wild, sadist whores. And it's all they'll ever be. Demonic beyond mathematical quantification. Now, you ask yourself something, because I know you're listening to me. If you're a decent person and you want to know the truth about these types of exposures, consider this. When a human being makes a verbalization into a electronic tape recorder that has electronic time and date stamps on it. So as an example, yesterday's date was May 14th, 2026. I made very detailed descriptive statements that I was experiencing electrical current. I don't want to take my bandana off because it's holding a cream cloth in place that's trying to that I'm using to try and mitigate some of the ongoing pain. So let me see if I can, because make them this. Oh, you would not believe the video evidence I got of directed energy weapon burn holes right on the top of my head. Literally burn holes, literal burn holes. You really honestly believe that a burn hole on the top of your head and other places too, that I've indisputably proven in videos, photos? Oh, absolutely. Does anybody honestly think about what I'm saying? Literally listen to what I'm saying. Do you honestly believe that a burn hole, let me just grab something here real fast, bear with me. Okay, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, because the lighting in here right now is not that great. And you should also pay attention to the blue type hue that appears to be in this environment right now, especially up in this area, which is the mouth of my tent. Oh, you would not believe the different educated knowledges that I know, including educated knowledge from world-renowned scientists and much more. So I want you to look at this hole right here. You can take a snap screenshot, or this circle right here that I drew on this piece of paper. That is the size of the literal burn holes on the top of my head as a direct result of numerous attacks that I endured in Rose Canyon Park, including in August, September, and October of 2025. Literally. Now, do you really believe a actual literal burn hole on the top of the head is appearing on a human being without no cause? Now, going back to my statements I made in my tip recorder yesterday. Again, tip recorders run by electronic time and date stamps. If you program the tip recorder to reflect the current time and date, and then that audio file that reflects that current time and date is a recording audio file, which means the audio file is dedicated to a literal recording audio file. So when the tip recorder is in the record mode and you make detailed verbal descriptions openly stating that I'm feeling an electrical current, it's literally an electrical current, okay, from this area, the top of the head. So this is the left side, and this is about 2.5 to 3 inches above the hairline, and this right here is the center of the hairline. So you go over here about within 1.5 inches, then you go up to about right here, and then you literally feel the electrical current, continuous electrical current. Then you feel the flow of it going down into the forehead, more than likely, okay, through this nerve right here. It then deposits into the right edge of the left eyebrow. And then look at this. Do you see that big bump there? That big swelling? Huh? Do you see the whiteness over here? Okay, so I then stated in the tape recorder that that's what I was enduring from up here to the forehead to the right edge of the left eyebrow, and then I said I felt it going into the eyes, okay, and then into the nose, and then my nose became completely stuffed up, okay, while I was also experiencing simultaneous targeting to the left cranium. Okay, and you would not believe the sound frequency hopping, the electrical frequency phasing, okay, and the community-based noise harassment that I'm being literally just on a rabid scale that I am being literally forced to endure every single day. So I made these specific, very detailed, specific verbal statements in my tape recorder concerning what I was feeling up here, right here, okay, then down into the hairline, then from the hairline down into the right edge of the left eyebrow, then down into here, which also has a routing scheme into the nasal passage, while I was simultaneously enduring extreme attacks to the left back base cranium, which is why I developed, and they were doing this to me yesterday, I'd say for at least 8 straight hours, and then they kept the brutal attacks ongoing when I was sleeping, woke up with a massive extreme radiation headache. Now, if you make these types of verbal, detailed, specific descriptions concerning where you're feeling it at and where it's going to, your body's going to show the effects, and you are going to witness them right now. Pay attention to all whiteness in the following areas. This is the right edge of the left eyebrow. Okay. There you go for the nose. It also partly was going into the eyes. Okay. Okay. This right up in here. Okay. I also made statements in my tape recorder yesterday. It was on during attacks to the left temple. Now, try and get the forehead here. You can see the whiteness up in here. Okay. So the demonic filth, which by the way is the same crime that intentionally made me homeless. Look at that. That intentionally made me homeless from at least 4 apartments in Michigan and 1 in Tennessee. Look at this. Look at that. The vein goes right up in there. Okay. Scalp electrode leads on the head. Is that what's going on? It then receives the current, radio telemetry, interface, wireless. Okay. Radio telemetry does the dumps to the scalp electrodes. It then goes to the cup electrode in the nerve. It gets deposited then in this spot. From there, the routing scheme goes into here. Part of it goes down into the eye. The other part goes into the nose. Okay. And I'm even being attacked to the roof of the mouth. My name is Leslie Williams. I make this video in order to expose truth. Bear with me a second. I gotta find my glasses because I gotta see where I'm at concerning the amount of video time I've used. And why am I now being allowed to make videos through my own phone that I pay for every single damn month? And these 6 sadist whores are controlling all my apps, which is wreaking extreme 99% extreme havoc in my legal preparations, my medical research, okay, evidence exposures on the internet. They literally cause me to not be able to now. I can no longer use Twitter through my phone. Okay? Absolutely. You would not believe what's going on. Just turn me up with the following statement as well. Okay, let me take a look at this. Okay, so sensory substitution. Okay, sensory substitution, soundscape audio technology. Is it interfacing with the visual prosthetics? Okay, now, sensory substitutions, soundscape technology, if it's interfacing with non-consensual auditory ear implants, you would not. So what you want to do is you want to go to Google and type in at Google, because remember, these are chunks of exposures, okay? Are they linked? Now, interfacing with these remote visual prosthetics that are remotely interfaced with can take place through many means. It all depends on how many different integrations that they are using the routing schemes for. I mean, just look at that. Look at that. It goes directly into the right edge of the left eyebrow. Look at that. And then look at how it's all swelled up. I've endured these types of attacks on thousands of dates. Okay? So I want you to listen to me very carefully. Go to Google and type into Google, but let me just take a break in my speech so I can think for a second, okay? Okay, so go to Google AI mode and type in, can sound substitution, soundscape technology, okay, interface with visual prosthetics? Okay? And it's going to say yes. And it's going to give you some detailed statements concerning how. And by the way, do that Google AI mode search more than once. Because Google at times will present to you different informations. Okay? Now, it doesn't mean that these different informations are not true. It just might just be presenting to you additional information concerning, you know, all additional informations from each search result. Okay, there's at least a huge chunk in each one that is absolutely true. Okay, now hold on one second. Now, with sensory substitution soundscape technology, when they're interfacing with visual prosthetics for people who have measures of blindness, okay, which is what most visual prosthetic scientific articles are dedicated to, you see that when they're using sensory substitution soundscape technology to interface with visual prosthetics, you're going to see these people that are using it, other people being tested for it, who have earphones, and then the sensory substitution soundscape audio goes through the earphones. But in a gang stalking target who would have non-consensual auditorial implants, cochlear implants, bone conduction or not, okay, the soundscape can then be sent directly to and through the audio implant in the ears, which have antennas making them remotely interfaced with, so that the soundscape audio can interface through the sound processor of the cochlear ear implant, and the cochlear ear implant is directly interfacing with the visual prosthetics. You would not, you would not believe what I know. You just would not believe what's going on. To the satanic filth that's doing this to me, you better pray to your demon harass God I never find out your name. This is no exaggeration. And by the way, when it comes to the different types of acoustic technologies that are being perpetrated on this technology, on this property, you better believe Soundscape is involved in it. But there's also appears to be some other acoustic tech. And that means that it's localized, which means wild whores had to come on this property and prop up the emitters and or transmitters in order so that those different acoustic technologies can be heard directly around me, including at elevated levels, strongly suggesting that they're also after localized hearing. Now you can go to Google and type in at Google the following statement. I know for a fact that ultrasound is absolutely massively in play here. So you can go to Google and type in at Google, can sensory substitution soundscape technology be put on an offset carrier wave on ultrasound? And you will absolutely, the internet will absolutely just goes to yes. Also Google, can acoustic audio waves and can acoustic audio carrier waves and can carrier waves that can carry visual data be offset on ultrasound? Okay, my fellow American citizens, I am experiencing nothing but non-stop extreme brutalities by these vicious whores every single fucking day. And I'm sorry about the language. Every single day, non-stop, day and night. Okay, non-stop. While dealing with the homelessness, these sick demonic bastards put me in a crime that is also exposed by thousands of others all over America. So I want you to imagine your life, you being a very intelligent, independent, good, decent person, okay, having wild animals who are nothing but extreme vicious psychos controlling every aspect of your life while they control your shelter, which has always been weaponized by and through their syndicated, connected, organized crime police. And who's controlling our police officers? Why should the police officers that are running around in their police cars throughout our communities, why should they take the entire blunt? Why should they have it put completely on their shoulders concerning whistleblowers' statements and complaints? Yeah, they're involved in it because they're controlled by it. So who's controlling them? Why should your average everyday law enforcement officer running around in patrol cars that you see take the complete blunt of a gang stalking victim's exposure? Who's using them? Those are the ones I'm after. You better believe it. And everything I do is legal. You better believe it. Okay? You would not believe what I know about this dumbass, demented, demonic, criminally insane crime perpetrated by absolute criminally insane, vicious psychopaths, sociopaths. They're criminally insane sociopaths. There's doctors, professors, lawyers, scientists, all saying the same thing about these wild, vicious whores. That they're nothing but a bunch of depraved, demented, socio-psychopaths that are indisputably, premeditatedly, every single thing gang stalking does is premeditated. It's every crime they commit is planned before they even planned in-depthly throughout. Everything they do is completely planned before they do it. So they know they're involved in extreme human rights abuses, torture, okay, assault and battery with mayhem, okay, conspiracy against rights, aiding and abetting, okay, and much, 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 much more. So, I'm going to state this to you right now, my fellow San Diegoans and my fellow Americans. If you ever see me walking down the street with my bike, why do I got a bike? Because they literally staged vehicle accidents. I've lost at least 4 vehicles because of these wild-ass animal whores. Yeah, so I just gave up on buying cars. I gave up on renting apartments because why? I'll just be gang stalked to them, driven crazy every day and night while I'm there, buying through, the different. So just go to Google and research how gang stalking victims are harassed in their own homes, which includes victims who are living in apartment complexes, and then it'll just make you homeless from it again. You'll be gang stalked to homeless shelters, set up, arrested, assaulted, robbed, even raped through these demonic sadist psychos. So, absolutely. These people are nothing but criminally insane filth. It's all they are and it's all they'll ever be. And a huge part of this crime, okay, is biomedical. Which we're talking about doctors, scientists. Okay, hold on one second. Oh, I got them on. All right, let me look at how much time I got left. Okay, so I want you to know the people that have been managing and still do manage every bit of the community-based gang stalking that I endure, okay, are directly intimately, directly connected to the satanic filth that is interfacing with implants and victims and are doing the direct energy weapons attacks and acoustic technology attacks. And I'm going to re-emphasize, check this out, every single acoustic technology that I hear on this property, contrasting sounds in each ear, which, oh my God, is neurologically damaging like you would not believe. Okay, ultrasound, infrasound, sound blasters are being used, another widely reported thing where they're just recording certain sounds. And by the way, when you go to Google and type in at Google, can any soundscape, sensory substitution, soundscape technology mimic the sound of vehicle traffic? You would not believe what I'm enduring on this fucking property. And when I was and then when I was utilizing Rose Canyon, okay, Park, okay, think about what I'm saying. I literally got a tweet harvested from a fellow victim that openly shows her state that they're literally transmitting the sound of traffic in her ears. The only way you can do that is by and through either ELF acoustic technology, which can't be recorded, most generally, and or through direct interface with a cochlear ear implant, which has an antenna, making it Wi-Fi accessible, which means they basically just transmit the noise directly to the cochlear ear implant. So why would they be perpetrating the sound of recorded traffic that is just transmitted in a loop to an ear implant? Because they know the sound of traffic emits certain sound frequencies. The sound frequencies are then converted into electrical signals. The electrical signals can go to two different routing schemes. Okay, one to the central nervous system where they got implants within the nerve roots. Okay, those implants receive that electrical signal. They become activated, and the wild horrors cook us alive internally, radiation, and through nanowires. I make these videos to inform, to expose truths and hidden truths, factual truths, so that these demented, psychopathic, demonic, gang-raping bastards cannot walk away from every single thing they've done. The only way you're going to see them for what they are is to hear educated knowledge, educated, factual knowledge from an educated victim. And make no mistake about it, when I start executing some payback here pretty soon, all of it legal, I'm going to try and execute the payback so that it mirrors some of the things that they did to me between 2022 and 2020, up to this date, literally. In fact, when I conclude this video, I'm going to make another video, a very short one, and I'm going to detail a few of my statements that will help you see the cleverness of creativity concerning the payback that's coming. Everybody, please say a prayer for my safety. Have a good day. Stay tuned to this account, and please be patient concerning uploads, because these wild horrors are jamming my phone like you would not believe. Like you would not